Tonight on Metro News, we speak to mayoral candidate Jim Addison. The information that may be missing from your LIM report, and it's the mother of all shows. Kia ora, good evening, I'm Marcus Irvine. Welcome to Metro News, a local news bulletin prepared by the students of the New Zealand Broadcasting School. The earthquake has pushed the mayoral election into the background, with Bob Parker saying he's finished campaigning and he's over politics, while his main opponent Jim Addison's campaign has been badly affected, going from a substantial lead before the quake to today's poll which shows Addison trailing Parker 41 to 55%. Lacey Wilson spoke to Jim Addison earlier.
It seems the earthquake has derailed your campaign a bit. Today's poll shows that you were behind and before that you were leading. What do you say to that?
Well, there's been an earthquake and that's made a difference, no doubt about that. And if you're one of the candidates who's on television, radio and in the media 24/7 for 3.5 weeks and most of the others aren't, well, then it's going to make a difference, all right, no doubt about that. However, I mean, that poll is a bit odd because it had me 60-28 in the first place, and I didn't really believe that. And I don't necessarily believe entirely that the poll is as accurate as people normally think about polls, because this is an online poll. So you have to be, you know, computer savvy, you have to be registered and all the rest of it. Not quite the same as a random poll. So I think the press have got one coming up in a day or two. We'll see what happens with that one.
What do you think it will take for you to win?
People to vote for me. And one more person that votes for the opposition, I guess. That's the numbers game in politics, and you need people who want you to win. And it's up to them, really. I mean, you know, we live in a democracy. Everyone has a right to a say. Unfortunately, not as many use it as they should. I think there'll be more this time, but the earthquake could probably taken people's minds off voting in elections to some extent.
Do you really want this job?
Well, it's a job that has come along after a set of circumstances that I didn't contemplate. And those set of circumstances are that the council and the mayor had not performed well. That's why I think I was in the lead before the earthquake. And people have to remember the last 3 years, or 6 years if they think back long enough, not the last 3 weeks. If they do that, I think I'll win.
I sort of take from that you've found that there is a need for someone different to be mayor.
Yes.
But it also makes me wonder, do you actually want this job?
The people who most want jobs in politics are sometimes the people who shouldn't have doing them. It's the people who realise the enormity of the task, the responsibilities you have, and still say yes, that you need most.
Would the council be different under your leadership?
It would be, very different. For one thing, we'd be meeting out in the suburbs as a council right now. I'd be having council meetings, and in fact, if I was elected mayor, I'd have one as soon as I could possibly get the council sworn in. And we'd meet in the suburbs that have been most badly affected, right there. We'd find a hall, we'd meet, people would come along to the meeting. They could hear us discuss the issues that face them. We'd hear from them. We'd actually ask them what was happening to them, what they needed to be done. We wouldn't be debriefing them, they'd be debriefing us. And decisions of councillors being published and everyone knowing exactly who's voting for what and why and how. I mean, it would be a different ballgame.
So those things you've just said, do you think they're lacking in the current council?
Yes, I do, and seriously lacking. The reputation of this council is not to include people, not to tell them what's happening, or not to ask for their advice or information and knowledge from them, and that's going to change.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for meeting with me.
We have invited Bob Parker to appear on our show next week and hope he'll be able to join us. It's estimated that the total cost of the quake will be $4 billion, and there could be months of inspections before repairs to damaged homes can begin. But once these home repairs are done, it would appear that no one needs to know, not even future buyers. This report from Claire Martin.
A hot topic following the recent earthquake is the effect it will have on our real estate industry. When buying a house, most people receive a LIM or Land Information Memorandum report. It's provided by the council and has information about a property. Everything from water and rates charges, sewage and drainage information and resource consents. But what won't be on those reports is any damage from the massive earthquake.
If they ask the property owner, then and if the property owner gave permission to us to release information about the fact that the claim had been made, then we would do that, but otherwise we consider the information that we collect to be private information and governed by the Privacy Act. And we know people were holding off because they were worried that information about an EQC claim may go on their LIM or their PIM. That's not the case.
The information from the council may not tell you about the damage, so as a buyer you will rely on the honesty of the homeowner.
People shouldn't be put off by buying properties and doing their transactions because of the earthquake, provided they ensure that they get full information and do the appropriate research.
It seems it will be more important than ever for people to do their research before making an investment in property.
If the seller doesn't disclose information, and they're not bound to disclose information, then it is up to a buyer to do the appropriate research.
But is that fair? I took to the streets to ask people what they thought. Some saying they thought the council should be forced to disclose any damage and earthquake commission claims on LIM reports.
I really think all damage should be reported on LIM reports, so I think it's a bit unfair to the buyer.
I think people should know if the house was nearly, absolutely annihilated by the earthquake. I think they should definitely know.
But others agree with the Real Estate Institute.
I think ultimately it's a buyer's responsibility to check things out themselves, and I think it's too big for the council to really keep tabs on and maintain, because probably 3/4 of houses have had some sort of damage.
For the council to go around and get engineering reports and have them on LIMs is just not feasible.
The council were unable to comment, but information from their website states that while there will be more information about areas prone to liquefaction, any other earthquake damage that doesn't require resource consent will not be recorded. So the message is caveat emptor or buyer beware. Claire Martin, Metro News.
You may remember last week we brought you the stories of 2 frustrated residents who were in limbo waiting for assessors from the EQC. This week, both properties were assessed, much to the relief of the homeowners, as Jonathan Mitchell reports.
After an inspection inside and out, the EQC paperwork was done and a decision was made.
The roof is holding on by its last rafters. Any other shake would make these walls liable to collapse, so it's an unsafe house.
Meaning the house will be demolished, leaving Chris and her family with mixed feelings.
A bit sad, because it is, it's the final word on the fate of the house, but it's good in a way because now we can start planning.
Planning, which will take time.
We've got to find out how we go about demolishing a house, how we go about finding, plans and building a new one, and finding a builder and all those sorts of fun things that we didn't really count on doing a few months ago.
Across town, Peggy Love and her family are in a better situation. EQC assessors say their house can be fixed, but the waiting isn't over.
Before repairs can be undertaken to the drives and stuff like that, the land underneath has to be assessed as whether it's stable. It also has to be repaired where possible.
That assessment could take weeks, and only then can repairs begin. However, these 2 families are staying positive.
By some standards, we're incredibly lucky. We still have the house, and the repairs can be done. The section, we'll wait and see.
Didn't know whether we were just going to be fixing it or starting again, so I think now we've got a pretty good idea that it's going to be a pile of bigger rubble pretty shortly.
Peggy and Chris are just 2 of the lucky ones who have managed to get to the next stage of repair or demolition, a likely situation for many more Cantabrians as the weeks go on. Jonathan Mitchell, Metro News.
Later in the show, a famous voice sings for charity. And why are these people struggling to get around?